to know it, and whether in wanting to know or not wanting to know, they might be making serious mistakes. Ruining popcorn. My interest in these questions was fueled during the Obama administration, when I was privileged to serve in the White House, helping to oversee federal regulation. A significant amount of my work involved regulations that required disclosure of information about calories, nutrition, workplace risks, highway safety, fuel economy, greenhouse gas emissions, credit cards, mortgages, and a lot more. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau had a relevant slogan, "Know before you owe." I was enthusiastic about disclosure as a regulatory strategy. I thought that it could make people's lives better. One day, I emailed a friend to let her know that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration had finalized a regulation on which I had spent a lot of time, requiring disclosure of calories at various restaurants, including movie theaters. I confess that I was enthusiastic, even excited, possibly a bit proud. My friend's email response? Cass ruined popcorn. Those words were deflating, of course, but she had a point. At movie theaters, people want to have fun. They want to enjoy their popcorn. As the lights go down, they do not want to wonder whether they are getting fat. A calorie label might not exactly enhance their experience. As we shall see, empirical work shows that my friend was right. Many people don't want to see calorie labels. In fact, they would be willing to pay real money not to see them. Does this mean that calorie labels are a bad idea? Hardly. Their good effects might outweigh their bad effects. Some people might make better choices as a result of seeing them, and some of them might even learn to like healthier foods. This is a point about the shifting nature of tastes and values, which makes analysis especially complicated. For some people, salad tastes better if you keep eating salad. But the risk of ruining popcorn is important. It is a clue to something much larger and more interesting. It suggests that some information makes people feel worse or even terrible. That point might not be decisive. If you learn that you have strep throat, you will not be pleased, but you can probably find a way to get healthy. If you learn that you are performing poorly in your job, you might find a way to do better. But in some cases, ignorance really is bliss, and people are better off if they are uninformed. To the same effect, I received a much sadder lesson decades before. In 1976, my 60-year-old, strong, very athletic father started to stumble on the tennis court. On several occasions, he nearly fell. My brother-in-law, Roger, his frequent tennis partner, was deeply concerned. After a few weeks, my mother and I insisted on taking him to the hospital for a battery of tests. It was a difficult and exhausting day. My father had a flattened, glazed look in his eyes. Several hours later, there was good news. After talking to the doctors, my mother came back into the hospital room with a bright smile on her face. She said to my dad, "You have a reprieve. It's just normal headaches. You are going to be absolutely fine. They will do a few more tests, so you'll have to stay a little while, but they are sure that it's nothing." The three of us had a celebratory meal there in the hospital. An hour later, my mother brought me into the car to drive home. She said, flatly, and without much effect, "He's going to die of a fatal brain tumor, probably in 18 months. There's nothing they can do. Nothing. But we are not going to tell him." We didn't. For a year, he was optimistic, even though the headaches got worse. At some point, it dawned on my father that his situation was grim. Not long before he died, he made that clear to me. His precise words are carved on my soul. "You're going to lose your father." That was over a year after my mother told me the same thing. In hiding the truth, was my mother protecting herself? Yes, absolutely. No question about it. Was she protecting him? Yes, that too. Was she right?
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.